Good day. I am in the South Cooking Lake Blackfoot Park. I believe I'm at the very east end of the park, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to be out here. It is part of the park, but it's also a grazing area. Let's see, it's about 0. Wind is a lot calmer than yesterday. So I thought I would just try this area. And came across this guy. Seems to be a bit of a loner, she is. Anyways, let's give this a try. I hear guns going off, so that kind of makes me a little nervous too. Oh, she does have a friend back there, so. There, see? There's wildlife. A cow. Normally grazing is stopped this time of year, and the cows have to be brought home, but I don't know all the rules. So let's just walk out here for a while and try and avoid these little landmines. There were no trail signs, so I'm just kind of following the area that's been trimmed down. I'm wearing my Vice Grip Garage plaid jacket again today because it is cool. Got my hat on because it's sunny, and hopefully I don't look like a deer or a moose wandering in the forest. I don't know if it's officially hunting season around here anyways. It's usually November in these parts. I believe natives can hunt year-round in these areas, so just keep my wits about me. I'll have to admit I didn't research this end of the park very well. I thought it was going to be like just more trails off at this end, but it's certainly not the case anyways. We'll just follow this fence line for a while and see how it goes. I drove an hour to get here, so I'm going to try and at least make the most of it. I even had to take my poor truck down gravel roads, about 10 or 12 kilometers of gravel. Woe is me. It's not so much about driving on gravel. It's the fact that I just washed my truck yesterday. That's okay. Just give it a dust off when we get home. The walk is more worth it. Beautiful drive getting out here. Lots of countryside, but also kind of drove through Redneckville. Population there. But people keeping themselves out in the rural areas, so unless you're invading their privacy, should leave well enough alone. I brought my truck too, so parked there, maybe I just look like a guy out checking on my cows. No other cars parked at that boundary gate. So obviously this is not a popular place to be. My fingertips are actually cold today. Just cold enough to let you know that fall is here. Mind you, we're supposed to get up to, oh, I don't know, 13, 14 again in the middle of the week, so summer's gone but not forgotten. So far, nothing exciting, just a steady walk along the fence line. The odd cow baying in the background. Well, access to another grazing land. Field closed if gate closed. Does that mean don't go in it? Because then I am violating the terms, because the other gate was closed too. Okay, well, let's go into the trees here. There's finally a path away from the fence line. Well, kind of came out into this meadow area. Let's go to the top of this hill and see what we can see. Doesn't look like there's been any grazing in here. There has been over there. Definitely cows around here. Which makes me wonder if I'm where I'm not supposed to be. So this is turning out not to be a trail system as much as grazing. I am walking gingerly through here because I assume this is normally pretty soggy. So far, not today. Well, I don't want to bother these guys or gals, so I'm going to head around this way. Beautiful landscape up here. Guess I disturbed their peaceful slumber and they're all heading south. Sorry guys, didn't know where I was. Just go down in this depression here and kind of walk around them. Well, they all kind of have eyes on me, wondering what this dumb mother fudger's doing in here. So I'm just going to follow the tree line again and head back the way I came. I may have to find a new place to walk because I clearly am not supposed to be here. Yeah, this location kind of turned into a bit of a bust for a hike. And I need to better understand the signs. For some reason I thought when it said closed for grazing, I thought it meant grazing was done and the gates have been closed. But now when I think back of it, how stupid I am, that most likely means if the gates are open, the cows aren't here, so have at her. You wouldn't know English was my first language. Well, let's follow the fence line back and maybe pick up a different trail somewhere else. I'm only like 2 kilometers into this, so it's not like I wandered aimlessly and discovered I was lost or in the wrong place. Still, it took me 2 kilometers to figure it out. Rolled my ankle through a divot back there. But you'd have been proud of me. I did the old drop and roll like I was a professional. And also, luckily, there were no cow pies right where I fell. That could have been kind of gross. There's my cow friend again. She should have been my first clue that I shouldn't have been in here. What are you gonna do? Live and learn, I guess. The good news is the shooting stopped. But I'm sure that was just someone doing target practice. Way too much shooting to be hunting. Sorry ladies, just passing through. Didn't mean to disturb. Okay, when you see there's locks and chains, that means please stay out. I'm gonna crawl under this time. I mean, it is public land, but you know what? It is public grazing too. Well, let's see if we can find, that was about 4 kilometers, so let's see if we can find somewhere else to do some walking. Okay, so I kind of went south and then west from where I was walking through the cow pasture, and I believe I am here at the central location. So I thought I'd just do a couple kilometers around here. There's only a couple things that worry me. Bears. They did have a sign up saying there's bears around. And wild boars. Great. And hunting season. So they say make noise and wear an orange vest. Well, I don't have an orange vest. I do talk a lot, so so I thought I'd do 2-3 kilometers around here to finish out the day. And I just got to figure out where the trail is, which I think is down over there. Look at that sexy beast with the dust all over it. I don't know where this guy came from, but he's got a lot of ice and salt on his truck. And it says for the hunting, make a lot of noise. Wouldn't that just make the hunters mad? Oh well, public place. Okay, I'm going to take this Beaver Trail and then the central alleyway and come back again. That looks like a 7-kilometer hike though. We'll see how far we get. I already did, what was it, 4 kilometers already, so we'll see how this works out. That was a good climb right out of the gate. The leaves on the trail, you can't help but to make noise. It's a big parking lot, so I don't know how many people actually come into this area. I guess by look of the road apples, I guess, if you will, in the parking lot, people do come in here with their horses quite a bit. This particular trail is a no horse trail for some reason. These pond areas are pretty dry right now. My ankle's a little sore from walking that grazing area and the little tumble I took. So I'm doing what? You guessed it, walking it off. I hear so much rustling with the breeze and the leaves and my walking. I think something's following me. The only thing that's following me is my shadow. Temperatures come up to like 2 or 3 degrees, so quite a pleasant day for walking or hiking or whatever you call it. As long as you're dressed appropriately. So what part of hunting season in October in central Alberta? Is it like birds this time of year? Because I thought like moose and deer were November. Haven't heard any kind of gunshot so far, so, or even the peep of a bird. Oh, there was one. Maybe they're smarter than us. Not the prettiest looking ponds or whatever, if you will. But that does look like a pretty big beaver dam. Unless it's man-made. There's another big one over there too. Okay, we've come to our first shelter here. And a bird in the bush that scared the crap out of me. Fallen trees, probably from yesterday's winds. Or beaver activity. Oh, that was from a beaver. Can't see it from this angle, but the end is chewed. I see why they call this the Beaver Loop. Lots of gnawing been going on here. Okay, with that bird in the bushes, and that saying, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. What does that mean? Does it mean that it doesn't matter that there's 2 over there? You've got 1 in your hand, and that's a guarantee that you have a bird. A couple of 2 dogs passed me, so hopefully if there's any nefarious animal activity, they've scared it off. Like bears. So yeah, bird in the hand worth 2 in the bush. What does that mean? Feel free to comment what it means. And while you're commenting, you can subscribe, like, share, all those groovy things. I should also mention about those 2 people with the dogs. This is not an off-leash area. See that? Tripped on a root. Is that some kind of karma about dogs and off-leash? And their dogs were off-leash. I don't know, just because it's pretty quiet and deserted out here. Rules are rules. Unless I'm not following them, and then all rules are out the window. Wouldn't be a fall hike without some Mundane Man effect. Would have been nice through the trees with the leaves, some of the leaves on there, but these guys all said 1, 2, 3, shake it off. Again, with the wind yesterday, that probably blew a lot of them off. Keep hearing things in the bush, but I think it's mostly me. This is all kind of looking the same. This Beaver Trail Loop was 3-something kilometers. And I think I still have a ways to go around it. Just lots of trees and leaves and bush. Okay, so I took this little beaver trail here. Now, if I take the Wapiti that way, that's just going to take me back to the parking lot, which I think I still got a few more steps left in me, so I'm going to go follow the trail over that way, cross the bridge, and once I cross the bridge, I'll decide if I'm going to go up to the Roundup Trail or hit the tie-in over there. See how I feel in a few steps here. There is an endless amount of trails in here a person can take. Some are limited to horseback riding, others are shared trails, and some are just specific to hiking, like this one. Now, I don't know, didn't see a sign about bikes. Only hiking. So check online before you come out here with your bike, just in case. I believe I mentioned last week that there's like 171 kilometers worth of trails in here, or somewhere around that number, and 3 or 4 different staging areas, so lots of room to get lost in here. Good signage though, and the trails are well marked and maintained. You go into the trees, you're on your own, but if you go on or stay on these main trails, you'll do fine. Another fairly dried up area over here. I don't know, this is probably typical for fall. I don't know. That breeze is still chilly though. Okay, that's a tie-in trail, or it's named tie-in. It takes you back to the Central Trail, I think. Here's another map. It's 1 kilometer that way and then 2 kilometers back to the parking lot, versus just going this short way. What do I feel like, Mundane Man? Let me rest for a minute and ponder. I think based on time, I'm just gonna continue on the Beaver Trail. This is about a ½ kilometer walk, and then there's a 1.2 kilometer trail back to the parking lot. So I'm gonna stick to that for today, just based on available time. Because in true Mundane Man fashion, I got out here too late. Should have headed out first thing in the morning. Other than me crushing through the leaves, which is nature and that's allowed, the peace and quiet quota is pretty much a 10. No planes flying overhead. No chatty people. There is a train whistle off in the distance, but somehow I find that more comforting than annoying. Okay, on the Roundup Trail, takes us back to the parking lot. And says no bicycles on this trail, so obviously you're allowed to have them somewhere. This is a nice large area they've preserved for public access. So far I haven't seen any signs of humans screwing it up either. No garbage lying about or anything. And that's a good thing. Sun went behind a cloud and it got chilly. I have heard some shots fired off in the distance, but way off in the distance, so somebody's probably just target practicing somewhere at their own home. So far nothing has been of any great concern, to my knowledge. So on the Beaver Trail you kind of circulate around two different ponds. The trails don't have a very good vantage point to see the ponds, but they are there. This part of the trail's gotten a little rough too. Either that or I'm getting tired and my ankles are getting weak. The latter's probably the case. Fair amount of elevation change on this trail, but it's fairly gradual, not too steep, so not too difficult. Gives you an opportunity to get the old heart rate going up. Okay, we made it to the end of the Beaver Trail Loop. Probably one of the smallest loops, but that's okay. We'd already done 4 kilometers before we got here. If I had packed a sack lunch and some water and stuff and gotten here 2 hours earlier, might have done more. But as it is, my ankles are sore from my stumblings. There's the truck up there. Let's see how we did. Okay, that was 8 3/4 kilometers between the grazing area and this part of the Cooking Lake Blackfoot area. I'm at the central staging area, if you will. Just about 9 kilometers today. A good day, 13,000 steps apparently. So I'll take that. And a beautiful fall day until the next one.